which means the championship looks like this. The MCE British Superbike Championship, in association with Pirelli, has Tommy Hill on 126 points still, and then joint second Michael Laverty and Josh Brooks on 85. Keogh has gone fourth ahead of Michael Rutter. Easton is the one who's really suffered and dropped down the standings to 6th place critically, just 5 points ahead of Alistair Seeley. John Laverty 8th, 9th Martin Jessup, 10th the injured James Ellison. 11th place in the standings for Chris Walker ahead of Tommy Bridewell, Dan Linfoot, Gary Mason, Yukio Kageyama. 16th Adam Jenkinson, 17th Peter Hickman, 18th Steve Brogan, 19th Hudson Kenner, and in 20th place Simon Andrews. A terrific start by number 8 Yuichi Kiyanari, bursting through for the second row of the grid. Monster wheelies right round the outside of Tommy Hill and Michael Rutter, but an early exit for the Swan Honda of tiny Scotsman Stuart Easton. Thankfully he survived that all right. Tommy Bridewell was looking good early on, and then Tommy Hill in second place went down astonishingly in Hall Bends, momentarily burst into flames and waved down the opposition. Safety car out, restart, Kiyanari gets away, Michael Laverty surprises Michael Rutter and gets the jump, and whoa, a mistake. Laverty tries to do the same and can't make it work, and then gets attacked by number 4 Josh Brooks, who's got the better of number 9 Kawasaki's Chris Walker. Watch this, Brooks gets past Laverty, Laverty says stuff it, and stuffs it up the inside of Coffis, and then Brooks once again retaliates into park at the end of the back straight. Number 7 Michael Laverty, having a terrific ride, suddenly finds that Kiyanari's run off track. Laverty has the advantage, but he can only lead for a lap before Keogh grabs it back again, snaking underneath the relentless Taz Suzuki at Park Corner. And finally, it's victory for the first time ever at Cadwell Park for the 2-time British Superbike champion Yuichi Kiyanari. HM Plant Honda breaks his duck in Lincolnshire at last.
And we are down here with our third place finisher in the Evo class. It's Chris Burns. Chris, how was the race out there for you? Looked quite slippery in places.
It was very hot. The side grip was just totally gone from my bike. When the pace car went in, that was me finished. I done all I could to hold Hudson off, but I knew when he passed that I didn't have the pace to match his. But all in all, it's a pretty good result for first time back after the operation. And I'd like to thank Dr. Klassen in Belgium, who fixed me up, Alan Latimer, who's sorted my back out over the winter, and all the split last team. Thanks.
Great to see you back on the podium. Very well done, Chris.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, we'll let Chris go off to the podium then. Second place in the Evo class was Hudson Kenner. Well, you got Chris at the end there.
Yeah, I tell you, Cadwell Park's hotter than the camel's ass in the middle of the Sahara at the moment. It's really hot out there, and the safety car was actually a blessing in disguise for everyone, I think. But big shout out to Linksal. We haven't got Malcolm Ash this weekend, so Craig's been running the show brilliantly. He's done a brilliant job for us, and everyone else has been helping us. And this is the sweetest this KBC helmet's been for a long time.
Brilliant, always gets the mention of the helmet there. I don't know about a camel, you need to be a giraffe around here to stay away from the 40-degree track temperature. Steve Brogan, good race for you, another good win.
Yeah, brilliant. It's back to be on the top step of the Evo class after a couple of rounds of hard work from all the boys, really. I've got to say a big thanks to all the lads in my team who've done a fantastic job over the last couple of rounds, and it's been pretty tough getting this new electronics dialed in, but we finally got it dialed in, and the BMW's working fantastic, so big thanks to BMW, and also Simon and Tina from GBM Demolition here in Louth, and Chris Percy from Direct CCTV. Oh, and RA Helmets.
Brilliant, Steve Brogan, corporate man, off you go. Third place finisher then in the Superbike race proper. Just go slightly to your side there, Michael. There's Michael Rutter on the Batham's Brewery Riders motorcycle Ducati. Fantastic race.
Yeah, hard race, hot conditions, and rear tyre just like it looks perfect. We were just skating all over the place, and I'm glad to get that third though for the team.
Good to see you up here on the podium. Came under some pressure though from Tommy Bridewell.
Yeah, I was behind. I looked on my board and it said, I think 0.5 of a second. I thought, right, look behind me. He was right behind me. Oh my God, better get my finger out. So, fair play. He rode that well.
We won't keep you in. Well done.
Cheers. Thanks.
Okay, then our second place finisher then, Michael Laverty. Well, at one point, Keogh, we didn't see it on the screen, but Keogh must have run off track. You must have thought then that the win was on.
Well, Keogh made a and I basically inherited the lead. I'd arm pumped the last 5 laps and I couldn't really push, and I just had to let him go. So once I took the lead, I was trying to defend it, but I knew I wouldn't be able to hold him off. I was pathetic the last 2 laps, so I knew I couldn't fight for the win, and made a couple of mistakes. I couldn't feel the front brake lever and I folded the front, so I said settle for second and take 2 podium points rather than throwing it up the road. So nice to back up our win at Oulton in the rain with a race for the win in the drive. Hopefully the arm pump stays away in race 2 and we can battle for the win proper.
Only you would call yourself pathetic. Pathetic it most certainly was, and we'll let you go to the podium.
Thank you very much. Thanks to my team again for giving me an awesome bike and all my sponsors. Cheers.
There you go there, Michael Laverty from the Relentless team, and Ryuichi Kiyanari win at Cadwell Park at last. Was it because of the haircut?
Maybe. No, my haircut is just, I think, good.
Don't worry about that, it's only champagne. Come on, Keo, you're tougher than that. Tell us about the race, though. Good for you. You made a mistake.
Yeah, because... Well, no way.
Come on, keep going, Keo, quickly.
Start was good, and also I can keep pace. But last 3 laps ago, and I had a mistake after mountain, a little bit too wide and touch grass and almost high side and missed line everywhere. But finally I passed Laverty, and I'm very happy for this result. But I want to say to sponsor and Honda and chief mechanic, and say thank you very much.
Keo is back. Take your hat off. Let's have a look at your head. Excellent. Love it. Off you go. Go to the podium.
Thank you.
The reason Keo was stumbling there for a moment was because I got drenched by Steve Brogan just above us on the podium. So well done to Keo for keeping going whilst I was blinded by Steve Brogan on the Genting BMW. Anyway, let's go over to the podium now and see the professionals spray the champagne, and Jack will take us through it.
So what a wonderful mix of people on the rostrum then. In third place, having been right on the pace all the way through the weekend. Probably the biggest surprise of the weekend, although not to himself. He's been a winner here before, back in 2004 for HM Plant Honda. It's the ridersmotorcycles.com with Batham's Brewery Ducati, 38-year-old Michael Rutter. This is his 328th career British Superbike race. He's been runner-up a couple of times, of course, in the series. He finishes third. Second place for the winner last time out at Oulton Park, Michael Laverty on the Relentless Suzuki, and victory at Cadwell Park for the first time in his career. This was the last track that Yuichi Kiyanari hadn't won a British Superbike race at, and he said that really mattered to him. He came on really wanting to win this race, because that would mean that he's won a British Superbike a race at every course that we go to in the UK. So Kiyanari does it, and you know, his English is improving as well, but without a Lincolnshire accent, so I don't know who's been teaching him that. And Neil Tuxworth there on the left gets the management's trophy for HM Plant Honda and stays well out of the way, as only Tux would. And Big Ed there from MCA Insurance prepares to take the brunt of the champagne. But the Japanese national anthem for the two skinheads, and particularly for Kiyanari. Well, look at that. Yuichi Kiyanari wins at Cadwell Park, and he looks quite menacing with that haircut, whereas Laverty manages to look somehow still a smiling Irishman with his equally severe crop. Well, congratulations to Yuichi Kiyanari. The champagne will now fly, and Keo can celebrate the first race win here at Cadwell Park. It's a beautiful day. The second race will be later in the afternoon. Perhaps he can make it the double.
Okay, then time for a short break. Now the Superbikes are out of the way, and we'll carry on with the National Superstock Championship race in just a couple of minutes' time. But before we get there, let's go back to Jack, who will just take us through the podium credits and explain what goes on after the first race here at Cadwell.
So the points for podium credits that have been accumulated so far, as you can see, Tommy Hill's still on top with that astonishing consistency until that mistake he made in Hall Bends. He has 13 points from his podium position so far. Josh Brooks with 5. Yuichi Kianari now has 5, so too Michael Laverty. James Ellison still has 4, Stuart Easton on 4, Michael Rutter on 3. Remember, these point scores will be added to 500 points dished out to each of the top 6 riders after 9 rounds of the British Superbike Championship.
And there we go then. Jack has explained the podium credits. That's good. We can now move on, which is great because after the break, we'll be bringing you all the action from the National Superstock 600 race. Less than 0.2 of a second separates those on the front row of the grid. Josh Day is in 3rd. Jimmy Hill is in 2nd. John Simpson is the poleman. How will they get on in the race? We'll find out when we return.